You spend your life playing by the rules, working hard, staying honest, treating others with respect. Yet, everywhere you look, it's the ruthless who rise, the liars who lead, the manipulators who thrive. The ones who betray, exploit, and deceive seem to wear the crown, while the noble and virtuous are left behind, struggling in silence. How is this possible? How can a world that supposedly rewards goodness seem so enamored with its opposites? You've seen it. The corrupt CEO who amasses wealth, the politician who charms the masses while orchestrating deceit, the narcissist who commands admiration while stepping on the backs of others. Society condemns them in whispers but rewards them in practice. Does morality, then, hinder success? Does virtue make one weak? Or is it possible that we have misunderstood power entirely? Nietzsche called it the slave morality, a system designed to chain the strong, to make them ashamed of their will to power. But if that's true, what does it mean for you? What if everything you've been taught about success, about virtue, was designed to keep you obedient? You feel the weight of the question pressing down on you. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Now let's go deeper. You felt it before, that gnawing frustration when you see a manipulator succeed, when you watch power accumulate in the hands of those least deserving. But what if this is not an accident? What if the world has been sculpted to reward them while ensuring you remain shackled? Nietzsche saw this unfolding long before our time. He called it the triumph of slave morality, the moral system of the weak, designed not to elevate humanity but to control it. In his view, the masses, unable to attain greatness, redefined virtue itself. They called obedience good and power evil. They labeled ambition as arrogance, dominance as cruelty, and suffering as nobility. And so, the strong began to doubt themselves. Carl Jung echoed this in his exploration of the shadow self, the hidden, repressed part of you that contains your untapped strength, your forbidden desires, your unclaimed power. Society teaches you to fear it, to suppress it, to be ashamed of it. But the worst people? They embrace it. They take what they want without apology. So, is it any wonder they succeed? But if this system is a cage, then what happens to those who remain inside it? Let's examine the unseen consequences. Look around you. The consequences of this silent war on power are everywhere. The world is not led by the wisest, nor the kindest, nor the most just. It is led by those who dare. While you were taught to seek fairness, they were taught to conquer. While you were told to be humble, they learned to command. And so, a disturbing paradox emerges. Those most fit to lead, those with wisdom, integrity, and vision, are often paralyzed by their own conscience, while those who should be feared feel nothing. The ambitious rise, not because they are great, but because others hesitate to stop them. Neuroscience confirms what Nietzsche suspected. Fear and guilt are weapons. The human brain is wired for social survival, conditioned from childhood to avoid rejection, to seek approval, to obey. But what happens when a system exploits this? What happens when morality itself is reprogrammed, not as a tool for individual growth, but as a chain that keeps you in place? Think of how many times you've watched a ruthless person ascend while the deserving stood in silence. Not because they lacked intelligence, not because they lacked skill, but because something deep within them whispered, "It's wrong to want power." And so, they waited, and hesitated, and watched as others took what they would not dare claim. But what if the hesitation itself was the enemy? What if breaking free means questioning everything you were told about right and wrong? It's time for rebellion. What if everything you've been taught about morality, about success, about playing fair, was a lie designed to keep you weak? Nietzsche dared to ask this question, and his answer was unsettling. Morality, as you know it, is a tool of control. Not a universal truth, but a weapon forged by the powerless to restrain the powerful. The only way to break free? Reclaim your will to power. But let's be clear, this is not about becoming ruthless, nor about abandoning ethics. It's about recognizing that power itself is not evil, that ambition is not arrogance, that strength is not cruelty, that you have the right to take up space, to carve your own path, to assert your existence without apology. History is filled with those who broke the cycle. Marcus Aurelius ruled Rome with unwavering discipline, unshaken by public opinion. Leonardo da Vinci defied the boundaries of thought, embracing curiosity that others feared. Nietzsche himself shattered the illusions of morality, exposing the hidden chains that keep people small. And you, what have you been holding back? What part of yourself have you buried under guilt, under fear, under the false belief that wanting more makes you selfish? It's time to rebel, not through destruction, but through self-overcoming, through transformation, through the terrifying but liberating act of stepping fully into your own power. But what happens when you do? What ultimate truth lies beyond hesitation? Let's uncover it. And then it happens. The moment you stop apologizing for your existence. The moment you strip away the illusions that have kept you obedient, hesitant, small. You realize something unsettling. No one is coming to save you. No divine justice will ensure that the good are rewarded and the wicked are punished. No cosmic force is tallying your sacrifices, waiting to crown you for your patience. The world does not work that way. It never has. But this truth is not a curse. It is liberation. Because if there are no fixed rules, if power is not inherently evil, if morality is not an external force but something you must define for yourself, then you are no longer a prisoner. You are free. This is Nietzsche's final lesson. Become what you are. Stop seeking permission. Stop waiting for validation. Step fully into the self you were too afraid to embrace. Integrate your ambition, your desires, your unapologetic will to shape your own world. The worst people succeed not because they are bad, but because they are willing. The question is, are you? Stand up. Take what is yours, not through deception or cruelty, but through self-mastery, through the courage to transcend, to evolve, to rise above the lies that have kept you shackled. Because in the end, power belongs to those who claim it. Now what will you do?